Key.
There was a razor.
The remote control.
Ring. Fork.
Flowers.
Phone.
Alarm clock.
A hand mirror.
Tap.
A comb. Bulb.
Mirror.
Iron.
Hair comb? I think I've already said that one.
Get that. Stop that. That's all I can remember.
And that's all I can remember.
I think that's all I got.
And that's it, I think.
I think I did okay on the memory test. It was definitely a bit difficult from the point of view of the time limit to remember everything. But I remembered about 70% of the objects on the paper, so I think it went okay.
In the memory test, I thought I would remember lots more than I did. I sort of, when you're looking at them, you feel like they're definitely there and you're taking them in, but definitely not when you're tested on them later.
I don't think I did so well in the memory test because the pictures weren't in any particular order, and when there's no order, I think I struggle more memorizing because I didn't know how to learn them as a list.
I'd like to say yes, I do generally have a good memory in most things.
Yeah, I would say that I have an okay memory. I sort of have to repeat something out loud, like a chant, and then I can remember it, or remember the way that a page looks.
I think in general I have a good memory, but it's definitely something that I could improve a little bit further.
I generally tend to be better at remembering more creative things, so passages of words. I'm quite good at remembering quotes from poetry and stuff like that, but that's what I have to do for my course, so it's probably practice.
I find lyrics from songs very easy to remember, so mostly words, not pictures.
I generally find numbers and numerical sequences easiest to remember, and then images are also quite easy, but when it's just words or a string of words, I find that quite hard to remember.
I do a lot of summing up the information, and then I'm quite visual, so I use a lot of mind maps in order to, in a way, map out how my brain thinks about the subject.
When I revise and memorize things, I'm a more visual person, depending if I'm listening to an audiobook or whatever, so I can visualize it.
When I have a test, I like to colour code my notes. I find that really good, and I also have a tendency to group my notes together in terms of what kind of theme certain points cover.
So to memorize something I need to know vaguely well, I'll repeat it 3 times to myself, and something I need to know by heart, I'll repeat it 10 times to myself out loud, and I'll do it while I'm walking around my room. And I often associate different gestures with different quotes I need to know by heart. So I often pretend to draw on my wall while I am learning quotes. So I must look a little bit weird, but that's my technique and it's worked for me.
In a similar way to mind maps, I like putting things I need to remember on sticky notes around rooms, which is the same sort of spatial organization thing. That's a good tool.
You take a phrase from a book or something like that and write it in your own words. It makes it easier for you to understand and think about it and remember it.
Sometimes to help me revise things, I'll use chunking methods, and I'll do things thematically sometimes to help me remember in groups, and then I'll revise that group at one time and go over that and make sure I've got it, then move on to the next one.
I usually try and keep my notes very colourful to remind me what specific quotes would be associated with which point, for example. But I think it doesn't help me as much as the speaking out loud.